Hi, welcome back to another TTC video. This is episode 4, I think. So if you haven't seen the previous 3, I will have them linked probably up here or in the description box as well. But a very quick rundown. Jonathan and I have been trying to conceive all of this year. Oh, by the way, it is the 5th of September. So yeah, we've been trying to conceive since the very start of the year, so this is now month 9. We have been pregnant twice and had 2 miscarriages, both very early miscarriages, and yeah, if you want to know more details about those are in the previous videos. The second miscarriage was on the cycle that I've just had, so I'm now on a first cycle since a second miscarriage. This is cycle number 8, I think, and it is cycle day 24. So we're coming to the end of the cycle, depending, because after a miscarriage, your cycle can be a little bit longer. But I've had really sore nipples the last couple of days, so which could potentially be a pregnancy symptom. It could also be your period's on its way symptom, so it's so annoying that the symptoms of the two things are so similar. But yeah, it's like at least 4 more days before the end of this cycle, but I'm already like, I just want to take a test, which obviously the test would be negative if I took it right now because it's way too early. But yeah, it's just like every cycle, it's getting harder to like wait until the end of my cycle, and every cycle I'm wanting to test earlier and earlier. So like in my head, I know that I can't get a positive until day 28, which is 4 days away, but then my heart is like, take a test now, take a test tomorrow morning. So also we're back in lockdown. We went into lockdown like a few days after my miscarriage, my last one, started, which has been really nice actually, because I've been able to just stay at home. I did take a couple of days off work, but I really didn't want to have to go back to work, and now I haven't had to. I've just been able to work from home, and Jonathan's working from home as well, so we're together, and honestly it's what we needed. So yeah, that's been good. But oh, the reason I was going to tell you that is because I only have my little cheap pregnancy tests. Where are they from? Oh, Wish. Yeah, they're from Wish. So yeah, if you haven't seen the previous videos, I've got this like 50 pack of these little cheap pregnancy tests. And they worked great last time actually. On my last cycle, they gave me a positive on day 28. It was a very weak positive, but it was a positive nonetheless. Where am I going with the story? Oh, I've run out of the early detection, like proper pregnancy tests. I took them all last cycle, so I was planning on picking some more up, but then we went into lockdown, which obviously like I can still, like pharmacies are still open, but I just, you know, it's lockdown. If I don't have to go somewhere, I don't want to go anywhere. Like it's best to stay home as much as possible. But yeah, so I have 2 options. I can either rely on these cheap ones, which I might do because like they worked absolutely fine last cycle, or I can just go out and pick up some proper ones at some point in the next couple of days, or I could also just wait and see if my period turns up, which is not what I'm gonna do because that's just too hard. It's the 8th of September, it's cycle day 27, and I have reached a new low in terms of my actions. I tested 2 days ago in the evening, which was way too early. Like day 25 is never going to give you a positive result. I tested morning and night yesterday, which was still too early. That's day 26. Today's day 27. It's still too early to test, but I've done 3 today. I did 1 in the morning, 1 in the middle of the day, and I've just done another one. And my new super low that I've just reached is that I'm now walking around the house trying to find all the different lightings in all the different rooms to see if one of the lightings will show me a second line, which I can't see at all. So that's what it's come to. I should say though, the reason I've been taking so many tests this time, and the reason I'm so convinced I'm going to get a positive, is because my nipples have been so sore for like, I think 4 or 5 days now. The last 3 nights I've actually had to wear a bra to bed, because just them touching anything has been so painful. And I'm like, well, that's never happened. I mean, I've had sore nipples before, but never for this long. And I'm like, what else could it be? So I'm fairly sure that I'm going to be getting a positive result one of these days, but that day is not today. It's the 19th of September. I wasn't pregnant. My period started a couple of days ago. So yeah. Again, I was just caught out and surprised by how long the cycle was after the miscarriage. After my first miscarriage, I thought that it would be not a particularly long cycle because my first miscarriage was so early, and I was wrong. It was a 38-day cycle, which is super long for me. But again, this time, because my second miscarriage was a full week earlier, so I literally hadn't even made it to 5 weeks. I was still 4 weeks and 5 days, I think. So I thought that my cycle would be basically a normal length, because and the cycle that I was pregnant and had the miscarriage was only 30, it started on day 35 of that cycle, so it was still only a 34-day cycle including the pregnancy. So, and my normal cycle is only 28 days, so you know, like, I really thought it was going to be a normal cycle length after that, but it ended up being a 34-day cycle length. So the miscarriage cycle length was as long as the pregnancy length, which is bizarre. But anyway, so I don't know why my nipples were hurting. They don't hurt anymore. They like got less and less and less sore, and then they completely stopped hurting before my period even came. So I had kind of like given up on being pregnant by the time my period started anyway. I was starting to realize that it wasn't going to be that. But yeah, so here we are again. What is this? Cycle 9, cycle 8 or 9 or something. It's month 9 of trying. I qualify for a counsellor through ACC. If you're not from New Zealand, ACC is basically free funding or funded healthcare. So it's for all sorts of things, and counselling is just one of the things. So I'm having my first session this coming week, and I'm really nervous. Hopefully it will be good, but at the moment it's just like, it's a stranger, it's someone that I don't know. And the session's going to be over Zoom as well because we're in lockdown. She only does Zoom sessions anyway, so it's going to be over Zoom even after lockdown. Yeah, hopefully that will be helpful because I really do need help. But yeah, I'm quite like anxious about it at the moment. But yeah, that's where I'm at. It is the 13th of October. And I have made it all the way to cycle day 28, which is what it is today, without taking a test. I haven't taken a test yet. I haven't even been Googling any symptoms. So this is my best month in terms of like, I haven't jumped ahead of myself. So that's nice. So I'll take a test tomorrow morning or my period will start, one or the other, I guess. But yeah, I have been seeing a therapist. I've seen her 3 times now, so it's been almost a month that I've been seeing her. And I wonder if that's helped. Like, she's given me some breathing exercises and some relaxing exercises. So I'm sure that's contributed to me like not being as or not jumping the gun as much this month. I definitely don't feel like I have any symptoms at all. And part of me is like, I don't even need to take a test tomorrow. Like, I can just wait and see if my period comes. But with how early I've been having miscarriages, like only a few days after my period's meant to start anyway, if I am pregnant and I don't take a test, then I won't realize that I have been pregnant, and the thing is, once I have a third miscarriage, I'll be able to get like fertility tests and stuff, but if I never take a test and I never know that I'm pregnant, then that won't happen. So it's not just a matter of like get through this without knowing about it. Like I need to know if I am pregnant, even if it means that I then have another miscarriage and know about it. I need to know that I'm pregnant so that I can go through the doctors and kind of get the fertility testing started. So yeah, I'll test in the morning and we'll go from there. Okay, it's the same day. It is like 9:30 in the evening. I just took a test because I figured like sometimes I can get a result on day 28 because I have in the past. So I've taken a test and, wait, let me show you this. There you go. Oh, you can see it clear as day. There's 2 lines there. There's 2 lines there. It's only day 28 and they are super clear. Oh my gosh. That is probably the strongest line I've ever had at all. And it's so early, literally day 28. Yeah, I guess tomorrow morning I'm going to be calling the doctors and scheduling another appointment. We are in lockdown, but hopefully I can at least get blood tests done. Oh my gosh, 3rd time's the charm, right? Please cross your fingers for me and let's hope this is the one. It's the 15th of October, so I called the doctor yesterday, had a little phone appointment because lockdown we're not supposed to go in unless we really have to. So that was fine. It was a different doctor from the last couple of times, but he did my referral for blood tests as well. So I had my first blood test yesterday. I haven't had the results of it yet, but it doesn't really matter what the results of the first one are because that's just like the baseline of what my HCG levels are at. So I'll have another one on Monday, and then if that's all good, then I'll have another one next Thursday as well. He also gave me a referral for an early ultrasound at 6 to 8 weeks. He said normally you wouldn't get one that early, but because I've had 2 losses, he's referred me for that as well, just to kind of get an early indication on top of the blood test that everything's okay. I've never made it to 6 weeks before, so like fingers crossed that I do make it that far and then I'll be able to get that ultrasound. I'm feeling good about it though. Everything that I've seen online kind of indicates that chemical pregnancies only ever give you a faint positive, because the HCG just doesn't rise enough to give you a strong line on a pregnancy test. So the fact that I had a strong line, and I've tested every morning and night since, so I've taken about 4 tests now, they've all had a strong pregnancy, like a strong positive on them. Hopefully that indicates that my HCG is already past where it's got to in my last 2 pregnancies. And that hopefully that means it's not a chemical pregnancy. Hopefully it means that this is the one. I'm feeling really hopeful. Jonathan said he's feeling better about this one for some reason as well. We are trying to manage our expectations because obviously the more excited we are, the bigger the heartbreak will be if we lose it, but also trying to stay hopeful because like feeling negative while pregnant, especially like for me obviously, is going to potentially cause problems for the baby. So I'm trying to stay as positive as I can, but yeah, we're both feeling pretty good about this one. I just wish I could have the blood test results faster. Like I wish I could take my second blood test now and then have the results today, but it doesn't work like that. It's the 17th of October, I am 4 weeks and 3 days. I get my second blood test tomorrow because today's Sunday, so I can't go until tomorrow. So I'm still like just hoping that everything is okay. But I came across this new term on some of the forums that I've been reading, and it's called die stealer, and it is on a pregnancy test when your HCG is so high that the pregnancy line steals some of the dye from the control line, and then it makes the test line stronger or darker than the control line. And so that generally is a good sign that your HCG is rising. I was being all scientific and trying to like figure out what your HCG would have to be in order to get a dye stealer. And obviously like it depends on the brand and all that stuff, and I only had the really cheap tests left, and they don't generally, from what I've seen, they don't give you a dye stealer until quite a bit later. The first response ones can give you a dye stealer quite early, so I went and got another pack of the first response tests. And this is my test from this morning, and as you can see, like this is the control line and my test line is darker than the control, so this is a dye stealer. Because you can see if it was not pregnant, the line on the left wouldn't be there at all, so that is the test line. So yeah, that is a really good sign. Obviously I have nothing to compare this to because I was doing a different brand of tests before this, but the fact that there is such a strong line I think is really positive, because I never ever got this much of a line with my other pregnancies. So I'm hoping that means that everything is still all good. Yeah, and obviously blood test tomorrow. I'll go like probably quite early in the morning. I'll figure out what time they open, because it might be different during lockdown, and I'll probably just go as soon as they open, which will hopefully mean that I'll get my results by the end of tomorrow. It's the 18th of October, it's still early in the day. I went and got my blood test. The lady thinks I'll get the results from that tomorrow, so unfortunately won't be able to have my reassurance tonight like I'd hoped, but I'll show you the test comparison from yesterday to today. So I've decided to write on them just so that, you know, if I want to keep them and compare them, it's easy to know what order they go in. So they're looking very, very similar. These are both morning tests, but I think this one might be slightly stronger. I think the control line in this one anyway is a little more faded than it is in that one, which I think is a good sign. If I kind of tilt them both towards the light, you can see there's more of a line on this one for the control line. So yeah, I think we're looking good. And then hopefully my blood test results will confirm that tomorrow, and hopefully it will keep going the way that it's going. It's the 19th of October. I am 4 weeks and 5 days today, and I got my blood test results from my 2 blood tests, and the doctor said my HCG is doubling, so that's really good. He just sent me a text, so he didn't actually tell me what the HCG was at either of my blood tests, just said that it's doubling and it looks normal and good. So that is really exciting. I have one more blood test on Thursday, which is in 2 days. But yeah, I'm still testing morning and night, so my lines are still looking good every time I test. Oh, and because I got the blood test results, I also booked my first ultrasound, which I'm gonna have done at 6 weeks and 6 days, so basically 7 weeks. So that is in 2 weeks from tomorrow. So that is very exciting. You can see I've got pimples kind of all over my face. I'm sure you've noticed in the last couple of updates as well. I'm assuming these are hormonal because I looked it up and it said that pimples and acne is quite common in early pregnancy. But I'm only getting like one popping up at a time. Normally I don't have any at all. I had a couple under my glasses here that popped up about a week ago that are basically gone now, and then this one is from a few days ago, which is kind of on its way out now, and then this is the most recent one. It's been super painful and I popped it yesterday, which I know I shouldn't, but it was just so painful. So it's not painful anymore, but it looks ugly, but oh well. You can't see these two under my masks anyway, so when I'm at school, it looks like everything's fine. It's the 21st of October. I am 5 weeks today. Super exciting. I got my last blood test this morning, so I'll get the results from that tomorrow. But I'm still testing morning and night, and it's still looking really good. I'll show you the test I've done just now. Well, I guess I'm showing you the entire series. Yes, I've been an absolute hoarder and kept all of them. So generally I've been doing these tests at night, these little cheap ones, and I've been doing the proper tests in the morning. But a couple of these, I've been trying not to use the proper ones as much, so a couple of the mornings I've done these ones as well. So this bottom one is the one that I've done just now, and I think I'm going to try and stop testing at night and just do one test a day in the morning, because otherwise I'm going to be out of tests in just a few days. But yeah, you can see it's looking good. This is, I think I told you about this before, a dye stealer where the test line is stronger than the control line, so that's really good. They're definitely not getting fainter. I think they're getting stronger, although it's hard to compare when I've just done one because the other ones like are all faded from sitting there for so long. So it won't look quite this strong once this one's faded as well. And then here are my proper ones. So this was the one that I did this morning. As you can see, I didn't do a proper one yesterday because I just did one of the cheap ones, so there's nothing for 4 weeks, 6 days. But yeah, and again you can see the test line is a little stronger this morning and the control line is a little weaker this morning, so that's really good. So I'm feeling very positive. My back is absolutely killing me. I'm literally gonna lie down. At some point I'm gonna have to stop this video and swap over to like a first trimester symptoms and update kind of thing, but I feel like I want to get this video to 6 weeks first because that's the milestone that I've never hit. So you've got this video to put up with for 1 more week. So yesterday, I flicked through an email to a midwife. It's like a company. Well, a company? What do you call it? I don't know. But anyway, there's like a whole bunch of midwives that work for this company, I guess. So I flicked them an email yesterday with no preference of who my midwife is. So they contacted me today and told me which one I'm gonna have based on who's like available around my due date. So that is cool, and she's going to call me, they said probably tomorrow, but definitely within a week she will call me. So that's really exciting. So in the next like couple of weeks I've got a midwife appointment to look forward to, as well as my first ultrasound in 13 days. It's the 22nd of October. So I got my blood test results from yesterday and they're still good. So if you're interested, I've got my HCG numbers here. So a week ago when I went for my first blood test at 4 weeks, my HCG was at 220, and then a few days later, 4 days after that, it was 1,000, and then yesterday at 5 weeks it was 3,500. So it's going really well and I'm so pleased. Yeah, and I'm just glad I got those results before the weekend because today is Friday. I had to call the doctor because he didn't like contact me, and I started to panic. But yeah, all good. It's the 23rd of October. I just had a big cry because I took a test this morning. It's evening, by the way. I took a test this morning that I think was maybe very slightly lighter than the one that I took 2 days ago. It's not significantly lighter than the one from 2 days ago, but I just feel like after 2 days it should be darker by now. So I've been like worrying all day and trying to just like take my mind off it and keep distracted all day, and then I just like every time I go back to the test and look at it again, it starts me worrying again, and I just panicked and had a big cry, which hopefully is ridiculous, but it's like I don't know. So I'm 5 weeks 2 days today, and need to get this to focus. You can totally see what I mean, right? Like we're wanting the line on the left to get darker, we're wanting the line on the right to get lighter. I feel like this line is lighter than this one. This one's from today, by the way. So I feel like, I don't know, like they're really not that different, but I just feel like it's gone in the wrong direction. So yeah, I'm like really panicked right now, but I'm gonna take one of the cheap tests in a few minutes. I'm just waiting. You've got to like not go to the bathroom for 4 hours, so I'm waiting for like 20 more minutes, and then I'm gonna do one of the cheap tests because I literally only have one more of these proper ones, which I'm saving for tomorrow morning. So hopefully tomorrow morning I'll get a darker line. I'm just feeling so worried and shit. I just hope that I don't lose another one. And I know I literally had my blood test results yesterday that were good, but those results are from a test that was now 2 days ago. Like anything could have happened in the last 2 days, and like I don't have any more blood tests. That was the last one. So other than taking these tests, there's nothing else to like tell me if the baby's okay until my first ultrasound, which is over a week away. It's just like a lot of waiting, and especially I think at this stage, like when I don't really have that many symptoms, like I don't feel nauseous or anything particularly really, it's just so like, it's so hard to know. Like I feel like if I had nausea, then that would at least be a sign that I'm still pregnant. But at this stage it's like, I literally felt nothing with the other 2 miscarriages until the bleeding started. I had no signs that anything was wrong. So it's like, how am I supposed to know? Okay, so I've just taken a cheap test. So this is the one that I've just done. This is the one from a couple of days ago, but obviously it is faded, so it's kind of hard to compare when they're old. But I think today's one is looking good. What I have done though is because I always take a photo of them when they're fresh, so I've put the photos of the one I've just taken side by side with the one from a couple of days ago when it was fresh. This top one is from a couple of days ago, and the bottom one is the one I've just taken. And I think it is looking good. I think the control line is a little fainter in today's one, which is good. So that has put my mind at ease a little bit for tonight. But yeah, still hoping to get a better result on the proper test in the morning. It's the 27th of October. I am 5 weeks and 6 days, and this is officially the furthest that I've made it, so I am very excited. I am going to end this video very soon. I'm just going to take it basically till tomorrow, get to 6 weeks, and then I will swap over and start a new video. But yeah, everything is good so far. I've had like some symptoms, but not really anything too serious. Like I basically just have sore nipples mostly at night times. They're not too bad during the day. Obviously I've talked about my little hormonal breakouts, but I haven't had any new ones, so that's it. There've been no new ones for like a week now. What else? I have a really sore lower back some days, and then some days I don't. And what else? There's been like little cramps that I had them pretty much all week last week, like the first week that I found out, and then this week I've only had them a couple of days. That's pretty much all my symptoms. I felt like a tiny bit sick last night, but I'm not sure if that's just because I ate too much for dinner. So I don't really think my nausea is starting yet. Apparently that comes around 6 weeks though, so it might start in the next week or so. But yeah, and just for, I guess, reference, we're still technically in lockdown. We're in level 3, which is not the highest level of lockdown. So it means that most things are closed. I'm a teacher and schools are technically closed, but we have like bubbles at school. So for kids whose parents have to be working, those kids are allowed to go to school and be in a bubble rather than a class. So we have bubbles of 10, and I am at school for half of each day. So I'm working mornings at home with my class over Zoom, and then afternoons at school with the bubble of 10 kids. That has been okay. I don't know how I'll go if I start feeling really sick, but at the moment it's been fine. It's the 29th of October. I am 6 weeks and 1 day today, so I am officially going to end this video. All going well, the next video that you see will be like a first trimester weekly update kind of a video. So keep your fingers crossed for me that nothing goes wrong from here. Thank you for coming along with me on this trying to conceive journey, and if you have enjoyed it so far, I hope you will stick around for the, you know, trimester updates, and I'll be doing a couple of other pregnancy type videos and basically just continuing to document my journey from here. So yeah, that is it for this one, and I'll see you in the next one.